I'm not gonna lie, this has probably been the longest and most exhausting week emotionally that I've had in a while. My hair is frizzy, the curls did not retain because there was too much water in my hair when I styled it. I look like a mess, I feel like a mess, I still don't have contacts. So, because of all these things, editing Therese, will just be adding pictures of the books for everything, which sucks because I'm not only doing a TBR, I'm also doing a haul video. So, editing Therese, I'm so sorry. Hey friends, it's Therese and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me discussing the books that I plan to read for Trick or Treat-a-thon. So, 9 prompts, let's just kind of get into it. We'll discuss more rules and etiquette down the road. So like I said, we have 9 prompts, and this year, if you missed my announcement video, I'll leave it linked down below because it's kind of important. It's a giveaway, just so you know. This year for Trick or Treat-a-thon, our focus is mainly around slashers. We kept it pretty easy this year. You guys can double up on prompts, you guys can triple up, quadruple up. If you have a book that can conquer all the books or all the prompts, by all means challenge yourself and go for it. We will not stop you. We will probably cheer you on and be like, I wonder how they're doing. But like I said, I'll leave my announcement video link down below. It discusses more of our live shows, our bingo board, our giveaway, etc, etc. This is just the TBR. So I am hosting as one of the co-hosts, as I have been for the past few years now. So the first prompt is Halloween, and that is read a book that gives you autumnal vibes. And the book that I chose for that is going to be Vampire Academy, because there is no autumn, no winter, no survivable season without me having read some kind of paranormal romance. And I haven't read paranormal romance at all this year, which is a crime. So we're gonna start off this TBR with Vampire Academy, and it'll also be a kickstart to the entire series that I'm doing on my vlog, where I bite the bullet and read Vampire Academy for the first time in the entirety of the series. So this will be the first one. I'm trying to find the second, and then I think the books 2 through 7. Unfortunately, my Barnes & Noble is kind of poopy with their selection right now, so I'm gonna have to go outside to find the rest. But future Therese will worry about that in November. Current Therese is worrying about this for October. But if you guys don't know what the Vampire Academy is about, I should probably tell you all the synopses of these books. This is a YA paranormal romance following Rose, who is part of the faction of vampires that is determined to protect the higher class elite vampires. I forgot her name, but they had run away, and now they are thrust back into the academy, where a lot more sinister things are going on than they actually anticipated. Super excited for this. I've heard really good things about this series. I've heard that it's just written like a beautiful chef's kiss, and I'm excited to see what exactly happens and to see how everything plans out. The TV show is out. I don't know if I want to do a Peacock subscription just yet. I want to take a look at the entire master list of things that they have before I bite the bullet and add another subscription to my long list of subscriptions, but it's fine. The next prompt is Friday the 13th, and that is read a book with a number in the title, and I decided to go for Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. I have had this, this is probably one of the longest series that I have gone without having finished it out, as well as Girls of Paper and Fury. This is the first book in her, I believe, quartet, or whatever you call pentatet, series, in the series of the Three Dark Crowns, or the Three Dark Fates. Yeah, also say Three Dark Crowns. I have the first, I think, 3 books in that series, or the first 2. I've been meaning to figure out if I wanted to continue on with the series. I've reread the series, the first couple books, multiple times because I have no memory of what happens in any of the books. So I think this will be the final straw, and if I like the books, I will try to read the series and finish it out. But if I don't like this first book, she's gonna have to go and get donated, because it's been so long, the inception of my booktube, and I haven't finished this series, and at this point it's just looking not good on my end. So I'm gonna give this one another shot, and we'll go from there, and if I like it, we'll push through and finish out the series by the end of the year. But if not, then she gotta go find a better home. She gotta, settle down somewhere, I don't know, but it just can't be with me anymore if that's the case. But this is a YA high fantasy following 3 sisters who grew up together for a couple of years, and then as they reach their more mature ages, were separated into their 3 different factions, and they each have 3 separate powers that spawn off from these 3 different factions and kingdoms, and once the girls reach a certain type of maturity, they have to go ahead and compete and fight to the death for someone to become the new princess. Very interested to see how this goes. I am very intrigued because I do remember some of the plot twists, which is why I've like kept reading the series. But again, I don't know if I have any interest, or yeah, if I have an interest in continuing on. And quite frankly, I need to finish other series that I am heavily interested in and heavily like want to do. So this will be the last reread to see if I like it, and if I do, it stays and we finish. If not, it goes away and finds a new home. The next prompt is Nightmare on Elm Street, and that is read a book at night. I ended up choosing Stardaughter by Shveta Thakrar. I don't exactly have a strong handle on what this book is about. I've heard it's kind of like traveled throughout all of the booktube a couple of years ago, but I never really heard anyone like pick it up or talk about it, and so I finally picked it up because it's been on my radar for a minute. So I will pick it up and see, but the cover is absolutely gorgeous. I do believe it is based off of Indian like folklore and mythology, so I'm also interested to dive into that story, and I think there is a competition or a game somewhere in this thing, in this book, if I remember the description as well as I can try. The next prompt is Child's Play, and that is read a middle grade book, and I am going to end up choosing / going out to buy Witchlings by Claribel A. Ortega. This is a middle grade novel following a coven of witches. I forget the main character's name, but I believe she is set to kind of like, once she becomes of age, which is like the year of age 12, they have to like find the rite of passage to become one of the, like set themselves into one of the covens. She desperately wants to become one of the powerful, join the powerful covens like her best friend, but she ends up not in none of the covens. She ends up a spare, and those spares are considered some of the weaker like witches, and I'm assuming outcasts. So we kind of get to see her traverse through this like new thing that she ended up getting tossed into that she did not want to get tossed into. I haven't heard a ton about this book, but it is a Filipino author. I love me a good Filipino author. Y'all know this. Trying to get more on these shelves. So I am very excited to see where this goes and what to do or what happens. I do believe it is a series, so I'm very excited to get into a new middle grade series, as I need to pick up more of Percy Jackson as it is on the list. But I'm excited to get into this one. Again, hoping desperately that my bookstore has this, but I'm not expecting much. Shania Twain just came out with a new song. Prompt 5 is Screaming, that is read a book that'll keep you guessing. I ended up choosing Verity by Colleen Hoover. This is an adult thriller. I think this is Colleen's only thriller novel, following a young woman who is now ghostwriting to finish up a series after the author has died. She's now currently living in the author's home with her husband and her children, and it's just a weird mesh of things. Now things are starting to get a little crazy and a little creepy, given the fact that I think there's a romance going on between her and the husband, and I think she's like trying to look. There's a bit of a break in reality by what I've heard. So I'm excited to get into that. It's only, I think, terribly spooky book that I have on this list, but I'm super excited. I've heard really good things about Colleen's like only thriller, so I'm interested to see how it turns out, given the fact, again, it's her only thriller book. Prompt number 6 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that is read a book set in the real life, like, you know, no fantasy, no magic, no science fiction, no nothing, just normal people. And I ended up choosing Wish Upon a Lantern by Gloria Chow. It's C-H-A-O. This is a YA contemporary that comes out. It's an ARC actually that comes out February, I think, 14th of next year. Ahead of the game for once. I don't know a ton about this one. I was really pulled in by the concept of like this like group of teens getting together. I think there are 2 friends that have like a falling out and are slowly getting back together. I also believe that this one has a Filipino-Chinese main character. I could be wrong though. I'll update y'all in the vlog, so I'm excited to read that and get interested in that and see how that goes. Super stoked, super intrigued. I'm also buttering this with Armin, I believe, which will count for the next one, for one of the other prompts, which I'll talk about in a minute. Prompt number 7 is I Know What You Did Last Summer, and that is read a backlisted book, and I have 2 options for this. One is Brindle Punk Bruja by Desidera Mesa. Yeah. Desideria Mesa. This is, I believe, an adult historical fantasy set in 1920s Mexico. I want to say it's an ARC. It's already out, so I am behind on that end, so I'm hoping to get a chance to read it this month. I'll probably start it super early and super right away and get to that. But if for some reason this isn't hitting my vibe, hitting the feels, I'll be also picking up The Magician King by Lev Grossman. This is an adult high fantasy contemporary situation following Quentin Coldwater, who ends up finding out that he is a magician and not a normal person during, like, I think his, like, graduate school of applications, and that he can travel to the land of Fillory, where he is actually considered a hero. But there are more sinister things going on as he figures out that not every single thing that happened in Fillory are things that he wants to actually know the truth about. TV show. We've talked about how much I love the show. So it's on there. It's on there. So this one I have 3 options for. One of them I have to do because it's a buddy read, but that is Slumber Party Massacre, and that is buddy read a book or read during a live stream. And I have Brindlepunk Bruja by Desideria Mesa as an option. I have Wish Upon a Lantern by Gloria Chow as an option, because again, buddy read. And then I'm also planning on reading Life and Death of Twilight by Stephenie Meyer. Connor got this for me for Christmas. I believe this is the gender bent version of Twilight, where Bella is a boy and Edward is a girl. So we'll see how that goes. Connor said that he really enjoyed it. As y'all know, I did a full-on like reread of the entire series as I went through the month of September. So I think it's a nice little way to wrap up my Twilight reading experience with a little bow. And the last prompt that is My Bloody Valentine, and that is read a book with a romance in it. I am doubling up, as you guys can tell, and that is going to be Life and Death by Stephenie Meyer. Again, YA paranormal fantasy, gender bent Twilight. Quite literally. So yeah. But that is it for all of the books that I will be planning on reading in the month of October. Wish me luck, and hopefully I get to all of them, if not most of them. There are a couple of options that I can switch between because I can't always make decisions on the fly. But if you guys want more information on the readathon, I will leave my announcement down below. It's a month-long readathon during the month of October. We have a lot of fun things planned, so if y'all want to know about the giveaway, the live shows, and the bingo cards, all down below. I'll also leave the links to the other hosts so you can check them out and their TBRs to get inspo, as well as all of our social medias. So yeah, but if you guys are enjoying this or want to join, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, until next time, hope you guys are having a wonderful time, and I'll see y'all not in the spooky month yet. We're almost there, but yeah, bye.